exercise stayed danger-free. Not exactly their specialty. Reid continued to scan the area, looking for the clearing he knew they should soon see. They were coming up on the coordinates, the ones that matched Cara's last known location. The closer they got, the more something interfered with the signal to his watch. The red dot indicating her location flickered in and out. That made him twitchy. He'd spend most of his time in the field depending on his instincts and his men rather than any so-called technical expertise for exactly this reason. Technology failed. He squinted as the light bounced off something in the distance along the line of trees. Tried to keep the conversation mundane as his mind constantly assessed and reassessed. We have some time off. It was just as easy to catch a flight from D.C. to here as to head out west on the bikes. Parker still hadn't moved. You're saying you replaced Montana with Russia just because? Admittedly, that had been a big left turn from the motorcycle plans. A turn Parker hadn't questioned, except to say, huh? As they caught a series of under-the-radar flights, made secret payments, and illegally purchased weapons. Reid admired his friend's restraint, but now it appeared to have ended. Sure. Parker held up the older model Bison, a lightweight submachine gun that had been modified and improved over the years. Not that they had one of the newer versions. Don't be a dumbass. Meaning? We're here without the required visas, but with guns that may or may not work. Suddenly, Parker was a detail man. Reid didn't love that change. Technicalities. Parker frowned. Are you familiar with the concept of international incident? Since they likely stood within inches of causing one, Reid was all too clear on the potential problem. Not that he would let that slow down this extraction, or whatever it was, one bit. It won't come to that. What about the part where we snuck into the country and could be convicted as spies if we're caught? Okay, that was probably enough talking about the details. Reid shrugged. Then don't get caught. Parker swore under his breath as he lowered his weapon to his side. That's my general life plan, yeah. Reid gestured for them to get moving again, and was half stunned when Parker complied without argument. Then we're good. Parker snorted. Define good for me. Reid shifted, tried to get a better view over the crest of the small hill in front of him. She should be right there. Her team. He hoped whatever messed with his signal also interfered with hers, and she'd be standing there, pissed off and swearing at the sight of him. Right now, he'd take a negative response. Hell, any response. First, he had to clue Parker in so he understood the importance of this rescue. The guy had little ego, but Reid tried to appeal to it anyway. It's an adventure. I thought you'd like the challenge. Why? Fair question, but Reid had an answer. You appreciate the unknown. What with your whole Yeti aliens, we're not alone thing. He didn't understand that side of Parker. It all sounded like crazy bullshit to him, but Parker believed something roamed around out there with them. Might as well use that. Okay, Parker said as he stopped again. This time he turned and glared at Reid. I'm not sure what you're trying to say here, but Yetis live in places like Nepal, not here. Yeah, because that was his point. And then there's the part where they're mythological. And for your information, out here we'd be talking about an almas. Parker nodded. Walk on 2 feet, covered with reddish-brown hair. If you say so. I don't even know what that they is, but do not tell me. Cutting the conversation off struck Reid as the easiest way to keep them mentally on track. Parker was the youngest member of the Alliance, and possibly the most lethal. No one knew why or how he got out of the army early, but no one doubted his sniper abilities or dead-clear loyalty to the team. Reid recognized a fellow survivor when he saw one. They started moving again. Less casual this time. More focused. Without issuing a warning, they both snapped to attention. They stepped with more care. Weapons came up. The obvious ones plus the knife Reid had slipped up under the wristband of his thin jacket. Tension spun around them. Reid could feel it with every intake of breath. You actually believe humans are the only human-like creatures walking the earth? Parker snorted again. Come on. For once, Reid welcomed this familiar nonsense conversation. Do you ever listen to yourself when you slip into conspiracy mode? I try not to. It's probably smart. Reid instinctively crouched as they started up the hill. No need to make himself a bigger target than he already was. I get it. You're a skeptic. It's naive, but whatever, Parker said as his voice dropped to a whisper. So we're clearly not tracking Yetis or anything else that might prove interesting. Care to tell me what we are hunting?